The Swan River, or known by the traditional Walyunga people as the Derbil Yerrigan, it's the lifeblood of Boorloo. It's what makes Perth what it is. And as someone who lives here and adventures here, I think it's time we explore the Swan River. For this adventure, I will be attempting to paddle the whole 72 kilometres of the Swan River. Starting in Walyunga National Park, I will make my way down the rapids, under the Bells Rapids Bridge, into the open river, going downstream until I get to Perth Central Caravan Park to sleep for the night, before getting up early and continuing to paddle past Optus Stadium, past the city itself, past Blackwall Reach, all the way until I reach Fremantle, the end of the Swan River. This is going to be quite the adventure. SUP is up and ready. I'm up and ready, camera's ready. Joce has been a legend coming down and helping carry the stuff down for me, but she's gonna meet us at Bells. That's why I have nothing packed, and it's time to get going. Paddle. I was feeling absolutely stoked to be out on the water, but also very nervous to be going down the rapids on my SUP because I don't have a ton of experience doing it. So it was gonna be quite interesting to see how we go on all these rapids. That's the first set of rapids done. Plenty to go. It's gonna be sick. Oh. Oh. Sunrise is absolutely epic this morning, and so are these rapids. It's actually so much fun. I haven't whitewater paddled in ages. So good. And look, the Swan River is just that good, hey? It's absolutely wonderful out here. With a good solid warm-up on the rapids, I was starting to get a good hang of manoeuvring around in the water. But next up, we had the main set of Bells Rapids, which are going to be the biggest rapids of the whole entire trip. And I was nervous, but very keen to get down this exceptionally large rapid. With the main rapid done, I was stoked and way too confident, which meant for all the rapids coming up, I was way too confident. I sent it way too hard. I was hitting rocks, but I was having an absolute blast of a time. But this one didn't look too hard. Oh, that was a beating. Maybe I should have practiced that part. Well, the rapids are done. Life jacket and helmet are off. Bags are going on. Didn't want to carry the weight while I was paddling. I'm freezing because I'm drenched. They're absolutely soaked up there. But only a couple rapids to go, just at the end here, and then we're onto smooth sailing for the rest of the trip into the long paddle stint. So, looking forward to it. Nice little canal. At this point, I knew that there weren't going to be too many rapids coming up, and it was going to start to be more smooth sailing, more wide open river. And so with that in mind, I was just looking around. I was just taking it in and just loving the scenery and the different types of landscapes that follow this river that makes up what Perth is. We've just hit the flat section, so no more rapids, no more speed boosts, but it's so beautiful out here on the river. It's such a nice day for it. Blue skies and no wind, the birds, it's so good. I'm absolutely loving it. It's crazy. You wouldn't know that you're in Perth right now. Like, all I see is river. I could be anywhere in Australia right now, and it would look kind of like this. Obviously, it'll get more and more as we get into the city. It won't look like that, but it's crazy that I'm, 20 k's in, and it still just seems remote. Just stopped off on the side of the river here to have a bit of a break. I've been paddling for ages now. I've done about 26k, and so it's nice to have a break. I've only got another 10 or so to go today, I think. Could be longer, but we're going at a good pace, so I should make it there in pretty good time. We are back on the river. Plenty more to do, plenty more paddling to go, but it's lovely. Outside of the plane noises, it's starting to get a little bit less serene, but it's still really beautiful. With it being mid-afternoon, it was time to knuckle down and smash out some paddling before the sun started to set. As I paddled, I started to reach some more of the areas where you have some super nice houses that back onto the river itself, and that was good fun to look at as we paddled into the afternoon. Before I knew it, I had rocked up at Bayswater just before the Tonkin Highway bridge that crosses over the Swan Valley. I picked up my SUP and carried it all the way to the Perth Central Caravan Park. It was just a couple streets away, but it was pretty funny walking in there with my SUP and trying to explain to the caravan park manager that I didn't in fact have a car and that this was how I got here. I then rocked up at my tent site, set up my tent and got ready for the night. Well, after 36k, we are here at the caravan park. Tent's made, bed's made, job done. Now we just get to relax and chill and enjoy dinner before we're back on the water tomorrow. Back down to the river we go for day 2 of paddling. We are back on the water. It's an absolutely awesome morning, super glassed out, watching the sunrise. It's too good. As I started to paddle into day 2 with the beautiful scenery around me, I couldn't help but think about why I was doing this in the first place. To give myself some recognition of how cool this river is. So often I think it's forgotten in the mundane of our city, There's so much beauty and life in this river, and I was just so grateful that I got to come out here and experience it as the sun rose. As we got into the morning, I also got a message from Kyle from Instagram who was going to come down and say hey and get some awesome drone shots of me as I paddled. How we doing?
Good morning.
Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Good to meet you. Obviously, I tried to get up pretty early before the breeze comes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, good meeting you, hey? Cheers. Been a lovely morning on the river so far. It's been super still, no wind, no nothing. I unfortunately didn't manage to get a coffee because the one place that was close to the river was closed, but it is what it is. And we're kind of getting to the point where we're close to the city now. The stadium's just over there, and so we're getting into the super crazy civilized part, and then it widens up heaps, so that's going to be interesting, especially as the wind picks up a bit more, but it's going good. As we got into the day, I was doing really well. We were about 10k's in, but we had 30k's to go. Luckily, I was treated to the views of these awesome dolphins, as well as the city view as I made my way past the main CBD, but with plenty of k's to go, it was time to just keep paddling and work my way further down the river. With the wind picking up a little bit, it made it a bit of a challenge, but that didn't stop me making it towards my next stop on the way, Blackwall Reach.
Woo! So good.
My mate Mitch came for a jump with me at Blackwall Reach, which was good fun before I headed off to paddle the rest of the way to Fremantle. 6:27 today.
Love it.
It's good. Well, after heaps and heaps of paddling and 70k's worth, a few cliff jumps and tons of fun, we're nearly here. That's the spot there. Pulled up just before the port. I didn't really want to go through, especially because I can see some of the big ships are moving. That just sounds like a death trap. So pulling up just before there, and that's going to be my finish spot for the day. I sure am. We did it. And with that, I had done it. I had paddled the whole Swan River, all the way from the rapids up in the hills down to the sea itself. I had done it. Obviously, completing this feat was crazy, especially knowing I was the first person to ever do it. But that wasn't why I did this. The Swan River is why Perth exists. It's why the city was settled. It brings life to all the plants and animals that live within it, just as it brought life to the city itself. I hope that through this adventure that you see the wonder of the Swan River. Whether it's the rapids, the birds, the dolphins, everything. There is more to this river than just some water that flows through our city. It brings it life. And so I hope this inspires you to get out there, adventure in our city, whether it's the river itself or the hills and areas that surround it. There is so much to explore, and it's time for you to get out there.